Thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Raising the Curtain, a Bloomington Normal Theater podcast with Ashley Ray Lynn. On today's episode, we will be interviewing Marcia Basolo. Hello, everyone. Today I am here with the lovely Marcia Basolo, the founder of the Holiday Spectacular, and we're going to be discussing all of the events that they put on throughout the year, because I'm even learning that they do a lot more than I was even anticipating. So, Marcia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a grandma now. I've come a long way since we started Holiday Spectacular 23 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I was a PE teacher and a health teacher, but I had little girls. My husband and I had little girls that loved to sing and dance. They didn't particularly like softball or soccer. They were doing tourgettes and cartwheels in the field. So
there we go.
We decided if we wanted to be with our kids, we'd have to quickly kind of change our interests too. So that's how we got into theater.
Perfect. I love that. So that kind of segues into the next question of your background with it. Did you do anything with theater before you had kids?
I think I was in one high school production, and that was it. And then, it was the kids that kind of drew us into theater, which was the best thing in the world for all of us. So, and then two of them went off to college. One got her degree in musical theater and a minor in theater, and the other one was vocal performance and a major in business also. And then the other one got her a general education degree. So
perfect. So very arts inclined.
Very much so.
We love that. So is that why you do theater? Is your children or other reasons?
Well, they're the ones that pulled it in us, my husband and I, into theater. But who doesn't love theater? Once you're immersed in it, you just have no chance of going back.
Right. It sucks you in.
It does suck you in. It takes you to places you've never been to before. You're able to take something and you're able to take it and make this big, beautiful production with so many people, and you affect so many lives.
Yes.
And so you get to know so many people, and you form such wonderful relationships, and it's just the best place to be.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful environment. And I know one thing that I hear amongst the community is I keep going back because it's like a home away from home or a second family. And that is what most of your productions are. They're very family friendly. Bring your kids, bring grandma. How did you decide to create the organization? How was it founded?
How was it founded? Well, I took my mother. She was probably, she was 72 or 73, and my three little kids up to the Rosemont to see Radio Cities. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. We can do this in Bloomington.
Absolutely.
We can do this in Bloomington. So I wrote a letter to Henry Bird, the publisher of the Pantograph, and asked him if he'd like to partner with the organization that I was at that time. And he said, sure. We got together, and he sponsored the show, and he also underwrote the show. And then the next year, it went strictly to the Pantograph, and they did the whole thing until Henry was no longer with us a few years later and off to another city. And that's when we were told, well, the Pantograph doesn't really do theater. So if you want this to continue, we'll still be your sponsor, your advertising sponsor, but you'll have to take this over. So I, along with 4 other people, formed a 501c3 and a board, and we just continued on as if nothing had happened, although a lot's had changed, because we then had to have budgets and figure out how are we going to really do this? How are we going to do this without all the support? We had they wrote all the checks, they paid everything, and then we had to take it over, and we did it, and we're still going strong.
Yeah, and you said 23 years now?
Yes.
I am pretty sure, I was telling Marcia this before we actually started, but I'm pretty sure my grandma took me to the very first one, because I would have been about 7.
Oh, gosh.
So that makes sense. And I remember it so vividly, and I wore this red satin dress. It was so fun. And I don't know, my brain can't process that it's been 23 years. That's insane.
Yes.
I need to get back. I haven't seen a show in a few years, so I'm slacking. So you had mentioned that it started with about 5 people coming together
Mhm.
to create it. Is it still those same 5 people? Has the board expanded?
The board expanded last year when I decided it was time for me to retire. So I retired for 1 year, and that was it. I came back because I missed it so
Of
much.
course. That's how it always
Um,
works.
but then last year the board expanded to 11.
Okay.
So they went from 5 to 11, and Sue took a year off. She was our accountant and business manager. She took a year off also, and she's back involved again. So
Awesome.
all 5 of us are back on the board. Kathy and Tom Holbrook are on the board and have been since the beginning,
Mhm.
as is Sue Hendricks and Janelle Kihayas, who has been on the board the whole time. And we've expanded and added. And Tom Holbrook now is president. Kip Hayden was president last year when I was. Yeah, so it is great to have more people, because it kind of spreads out some of the workload, because this is definitely a working board. These people work their butts off to make this show happen. If it weren't for this board and the amazing production team, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Not to like make a joke, but the sets and the costumes are literally spectacular.
We're fortunate that we can partner with Illinois State University. John Stark's our set designer and has been for 22 years. Absolutely amazing, as is his wife Lori Adams, who
I love Lori.
has directed for all the years except the first year. And then we have Tony Reimer, the sound engineer. He's fabulous from ISU, and then the rest of our team, and of course Nancy Brokaw, who is our playwright, that makes everything so special.
So obviously most people know you for the Holiday Spectacular, Broadway to Bloomington, Celebrate America, and the Princess Coronation, which I myself just learned about. But what do you think really sets you apart from other organizations in the community?
Well, I think one of the most important things is Nancy being able to come up with these amazing plays that that are about our community.
Yeah.
So you'll hear references to Avanti's or Rob Dobbs or Little Jewels. You'll hear references to La Gondola or some of the businesses, and you'll know Main Street because Nancy's described Main Street, and we talk about our town and the people in our town. No one has someone like Nancy. And then you've got Lori who makes all of this come to life. And then you've got our cast who some people have been with us from the first show. And you have these intergenerational children and grandparents, and that are there, 3 generations of children and parents and grandparents. So it's just such an amazing way that we were able to put our shows together. And we've had 2 presidents of the universities, Wesleyan and ISU, on our stage. We have the Habitat for Humanity, Bill Waller and his guys build our set. They build it, they take it apart, they build it back on the stage, then they take it apart again, then we haul it away. And we just have our community that buys in, and know that we do enrich the lives of our community by what we do.
Yeah. And that's a very important part, because you are taking elements of what your patrons are going to see and really incorporating them. And I think that's great that Nancy has been able to create these scripts, and it's not, something coming off of a shelf that other people are going to see. It's really taking Bloomington Normal into consideration. So I am curious, how do you go about selecting or scheduling your season?
We've kind of now, since we have more people on the board and it's not just the 5 of us, we've now begun to start voting on things. Are we going to do Princess Coronation? Are we going to do Broadway to Bloomington? Are we going to do Celebrate America? And of course we are going to do Holiday Spectacular. But this year we voted as a board to do all 4 of those shows it's a lot of work, especially going from Broadway, which has been in March, to June with the Princess Coronation, and then going in July 3rd and 4th with Celebrate America. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth everything.
Yeah.
To see the faces light up in the audience, to see the people that come to our shows for Celebrate America, the veterans that are hardly able to walk, some of them working their way to be able to sit down so they can stand up for the salute of our troops.
Yes.
And then with the Princess Coronation, to see those little girls running to the princesses, really believing that's a princess, and these are kids that would never ever be able to go see a princess, and they believe princesses live at Ewing, and of course they do. And then Broadway to Bloomington, such a wonderful show to highlight our very best talent that we have with Holiday Spec, and all of the shows together. We feature them in Broadway to Bloomington.
That's awesome.
So yeah, all those shows mean a lot to us.
Yeah, those are great. So let me see here. So obviously you're currently working on Holiday Spectacular, and I am meeting with the director, Lori Adams, next week, and we're going to specifically talk about this upcoming production of Holiday Spec. But can you tell us a little bit about, is there anything that maybe we have to have every single year in the show that's really iconic?
Well, it has to be about Bloomington. That's a given. It's about our community, for our community, given by our community. Other than that, Nancy's given free rein
of it
to come up with it, because we could never tell her what to come up with, because her brain just works.
Limits the creative freedom, and we don't want to do that.
Oh, So why we don't need to tell her what to come up with, because she comes up with the most amazing stuff all on her own. Right.
So we talked about Holiday Spec, Broadway to Bloomington, Celebrate America, the Princess Coronation. Are there any other events outside of those main four?
Those are set on our schedule. We were asked to do Lincoln's in Town, and that was a commission piece by the McLean County Bicentennial Commission. And Nancy wrote that script with Robert Bray, and it was produced by Holiday Spec, and of course, again, Lori Adams directed it, and we had John Stark, who did the set design, and that was at the BCPA. That we did, which was outside of our box, and we also did the show that Lori was in, and that was Shame the Devil, an audience for Fannie Kimball, and that was a one-woman show starring Lori. And we've taken groups of people, and they've sung at Rotary events. We've had different prince and princesses go to birthday parties, or again, we got a group of these prince and princesses together. They sang at a big Rotary event, A Million Dreams, and then some other songs, and just were amazing. So we've sung at Western Avenue Community Center for a number of years, their Christmas show. So we've been at festivals. Our princesses have been at the festivals, and just whoever calls us, we try to make things happen.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Make it work. So I do apologize if this was not on the original sheet that I sent you, but I am curious, how did the pandemic affect Holiday Spec?
Oh, gosh, that put everything to a screeching halt, as it did everywhere. So we did the 2020, we picked all of the best numbers that were in, we did the Celebrate America show by going through the years.
Okay.
And we did through the years Celebrate America, and we chose the best numbers. And so that brought back many
That's
memories.
So cool.
And we did the same thing with Holiday Spec that year too, in 2020. And then did not do Broadway to Bloomington. And then 2021, we were back with the Christmas show, with masking and all of the protocols.
All the guidelines.
Which,
perfect.
Coming back, the numbers. of people that auditioned were so much lower, and the number of kids just slashed. And so we had a show that was an hour and a half, and we found that our audience loved a show that was not 3 hours long.
Those 90-minute shows are fantastic.
Yes, so that was great. We're under protocols with COVID and that, and so our show was shorter, not as many people. And this year, again, a shorter show, numbers going back up though. So that's been great to see our kids choir go, because in the good old days, we were well over 100 kids in the show. And last year, I think they had 12, and this year we've got like 23. So we're getting there. We're getting our kids back and progressively doubling.
All right, awesome. And I mean, anything else you want to add about the organization right now?
I'm just so proud of how we're moving and what we're doing. We're still going at it, still getting better, still learning, still growing.
Awesome. So I have a couple of fun questions I'd like to ask too.
Okay.
Do you have I guess I could phrase this question a little differently. Do you have a favorite musical or play?
You know what? You did ask about that, and I saw that, and I was trying to think of my favorite. And I've just seen so many wonderful shows. It's so hard to say. There's Hamilton, which was so amazing,
groundbreaking in so many ways.
Yeah, but then you have the shows that are the old musicals with Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You love those too. Yeah. So I don't think I have a favorite.
Fair enough. I think that is an acceptable answer.
Is.
Right? I always say when I'm asked that question, my favorite one at the moment, meaning the one that's on my Spotify most frequently, is, do you have a favorite musical song or Christmas song that you like to blast in the car or sing in the shower?
You'll laugh at Sparkle, Jolly, Holly, Jingly, Drink. The elf song, that elf song just makes you so happy.
That's so fun.
It makes you so happy. And of course, who doesn't love White Christmas?
Oh, classic. So, I was in that show in high school. How can people get involved with your organization?
Oh gosh, all they have to do is call me. People can just show up at our rehearsals. And I think one of the best ways is allow us to put our posters on your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Local businesses do so much for publicity and bringing in people.
Come to our show. Spread the word about us. Like us on Facebook. All the social media that there is out there. If you like us, let other people know. So, because some people still don't know who we are.
Right. And that's the whole reason. And that's the whole reason why we're doing the podcast, to reach out to people in the theater community who may not know. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know Holiday Spectacular was like an actual 501c3. I thought it was just the Holiday Spectacular was people, and then different people did Celebrate America. I didn't realize it was all one organization. So I learned that when I was doing my research. Do you guys have a website, or is Facebook the best?
Easy way, www.holidayspectacular.org.
Plain and simple. We love that. Well, I will also post a link to it in the podcast description. Great. That way we don't have to worry about, people trying to spell, because I always misspell the word holiday, and I don't know why, whether it's one L or two. So you did kind of mention with letting them put posters up, but how else can the community help Holiday Spec?
We have on our website, donate money, donate costumes. We've got costumes that people donated, that gowns, tuxedos that we've used in our shows, donating certain things that we might be able to use, and being in our shows. Come out and be in a show. We love new people. We've got people that have been in our show. We also have people that are new to our show, and we love to see new talent. So
I'm going to audition for something next year.
That would be
I've been wanting to, and it just hasn't happened yet. So, okay, fantastic, Marcia. I just have one last question for you. If you could hype up the organization in one sentence.
This is the best show you will see this Christmas season.
Fantastic.
So you have to come December 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. And the city sponsors us now. We are an artist coming into the BCPA. They have made us legit.
That's awesome.
Yes, we're not paying them, they're paying us now.
Look at that progress, everyone. That's fantastic. So I hope you all enjoyed this Go See Holiday Spectacular. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. I know a lot of people in the cast, and I know the director and the scenic designer, and I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. I will definitely be going this year.
That was Ashley with Marcia Basolo, the founder of Holiday Spectacular. This is how you can get tickets. Go to artsblooming.org. That is artsblooming.org. You can go to ticketmaster.com, or you can also use the Ticketmaster app. If you like buying tickets in person, the box office is open Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or up to 2 hours prior the day of show. The show runs December 1st through the 3rd. Friday is at 7:30, and Saturday and Sunday are at 2 o'clock. To learn more about the Holiday Spectacular organization and any upcoming events, follow along on their social media and visit their website, holidayspectacular.org. Next episode will air Wednesday at noon with the director of Holiday Spectacular, Lori Adams. Hope you can all tune in for that interview. Thank you for listening to Raising the Curtain with Ashley Raylin, and as always, support live local theater.